Another way to turn curves into surfaces is to use a loft. Now, a loft takes two or more curves and then stretches a surface between them. So let's create a simple loft. Now I'm going to create a simple curve, and I'm just going to go into NURBS primitives and create a circle. I'm going to drag that out. And let's go ahead and remodel this into a different shape. So I'm going to right click over Control Vertex, and let's just move a few of these control vertices to create a simple kidney shape. Now, when we loft, we are going to loft more than one curve. So we need at least two or more curves. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this curve to create my loft. So I can copy it by using duplicate. So all I have to do is duplicate or Control D. And so I've already duplicated this curve, and I can scale this up or scale it down. Or if I want, I can right click over it, go into Control Vertex, and reshape it. And if I want, I can copy that again. I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate that, and maybe scale that up a little bit. And again, maybe manipulate the shape just a bit. So now I've got three curves, and I can use those to create a loft. So in order to create a loft, you need to select the curves in order. So in this case, it would be either bottom to top or top to bottom. And that way, Maya knows what order to stretch the surface. So let's do bottom to top here. I'm going to go ahead and select this curve, shift select this one and that one. Now we know that the top curve is selected last because it is green. And now once we have this, we can go into Surfaces, Loft. And when we do, look what happens. We get a very nice surface. Now, just like with the revolve, this surface is connected to the original generating curve. So if I select one of these curves here, I can change it. I can scale it up or down, and I can affect the underlying surface simply by manipulating the originating curves. Now, if I select the surface itself, you'll see that we have a couple of options here. Go into the attribute editor and select Loft 1. You'll see that we have all of our curves here. Now we can change the degree from linear to cubic, and cubic keeps things smooth. We can open or close surfaces. Now when we close it, it loops back in on itself. We can reverse individual curves. Now remember, curves have directions. So if we want, we can reverse curves if we want, if they're drawn the wrong direction. And we can add more detail by increasing or decreasing the section spans. So as you can see, Loft is a very easy way to create a NURBS surface out of multiple curves.